in first case, we will take two building. Okay, this green one is building number one. This orange one is building number two. Let's assume this one. Okay, and in building number one, some LAN system is there, and in building number two, some LAN system is there. Okay, so I'm not making very big LAN. I'm making a very small LAN, having three PCs in building number one and three PCs at building number two. In the first case, I want that building number one three PCs in a different network and building number two three PCs in a different network. Different network means, like I will write here, like suppose network ID for this building is 192.168.10.0. Okay, and for this second building, network ID I will take 11.0. Okay, so this is the network ID, and in this network we will give IP addresses to these computers. Okay, so let's go to this PC number one and first give the IP address. Okay, so my network ID is 192.168.10.0. So I'm giving 192.168.10. Any number. Okay, suppose I'm giving 5. Okay, and default subnet mask. And I will copy this and go to second PC, and in second PC I will give .6. Similarly, I will go to third PC, and in third PC I will give 7. Okay, so after giving IP addresses to PC number 1, PC number 2, PC number 3, I will go for connection between this switch, building number 1 switch and these PCs. We'll connect PC number 1 with this switch, PC number 2 also, PC number 3 also. Okay, so you can wait for 20 seconds or you can fast forward this one. All the channels will be in the go condition, means they are ready to use. And now you can actually send packet from one PC to another PC, and you can see that these packets are successfully sent from one place to another place. Okay, so if you do for another combination like PC3 to PC3 2, it is also successful, and these things we have seen in lab number 2. Okay, so in a similar manner we will create another LAN system. Okay, having a network ID of 192.168.11. Previously it is 10. Okay, so I will go to this PC and type 192.168.11. In a similar manner I will type 5. Okay. Go to the second PC, and if I type 6, this is different IP address, and go to the third PC and type 7. Okay, and connect all these PCs to switch. Okay, and if you fast forward, like you are not waiting for 20 seconds by fast forwarding this one. So you can also ping or send data packet from one PC to another PC. Okay, and this data, instead of sending this data packet, you can ping also. Okay, it's almost same. By pinging also you can check whether they can communicate with each other or not. Okay, so I have made two different LAN. LAN number one having one network ID, LAN number two having different network ID, and they are placed in two buildings. Okay, different buildings. Now I have two routers. Okay, one at building number one at building number two, and previously I haven't communicated one network with another network. For communication between two networks, either I want a layer 3 switch or multi-layer switch, or I want a router. Okay, so in this case we will communicate one network with the another network. Okay, so you can see 192.168.10 is different network in class C, and 192.168.11 is different networking class. Okay. So what we will do, we will connect these two networks through router. Okay. So first we will connect this switch with this router. Okay. And like before connecting these things, connection of routers, you need to judge. Okay. So basically you can connect those two routers serially also. Okay. Those two routers in a gigabit cable also, and those two routers in an Ethernet cable also. So it depends what you want. So depending upon your requirement, basically if you go to this router physical overview, so this is the physical overview. Okay, and if you zoom in, you can check that there is one switch and fast Ethernet default to fast Ethernet ports are there. Okay, and these are the modules which are compatible with this router. So depending upon your requirement, basically you can add different modules at these places. Okay, these blank places. And in this module section, you can see various modules are there. Okay, so like whenever you click on any module, it will show that where you can use that one, and this is that module. You can just drag and drop it. Just I have two fast Ethernet ports. I want some more fast Ethernet ports. So this two fast Ethernet. Okay, so this one and I'm two fast Ethernet 2W. Okay, so this one I will take. I can't connect directly. Okay, I need to switch off this one. Okay. So if you are not switching off any devices before connecting to any new module, it will show that you need to switch off your device first. So from here you can switch on and switch off your device. So just switch off your device and connect that module, whatever you want. Okay, so this is fast Ethernet port. I'm connecting to extra fast Ethernet port. Okay, and let's take serial connectivity also, like WIC, WIC1T. Okay, let's take some serial ports also. Four serial ports here. Switch on. Okay, so now my router, I can see that I have four serial ports, four fast Ethernet port. Okay, one auxiliary and one console here, one console port. In the case number one, we want to connect two buildings having their own router, and two buildings are having their different network address. So two buildings I have created with a different network address. Now let's go to connection, and let's say I am connecting four with this router at 00. Okay, and this four I am connecting with 00 here. Okay, and like after connecting these things, basically what you are doing whenever you are connecting anything with the router port. Okay, so you need to go to router, and at port where you have connected, like I have connected in fast Ethernet 0/0, which you can check from here. Okay, so that is connected to fast Ethernet 0/0. Okay, so 0/0, if you go, you need to type one IP address and some net mask. And this IP address is basically a default gateway of your entire network connected under this port. This IP address in practical life we are giving as a first address of our network. So it's not compulsory, but for convenient sake of convenient, we are doing this thing like we are giving first address. So I'm just explaining you like what is the default gateway. Like in if you go to these PCs now under this IP address subnet mask, there is one more thing which is default gateway. And this default gateway is basically the IP address of this port, okay, router port under which your network is connected. Okay, so by default, like in practical life, we are giving the first address as my default gateway. But it's okay if you can use other addresses also. Okay, so we are using first address in practical life for router because it's very easy to remember that one. Okay, this is the address for router. What I am doing, I am taking this default gateway. This default gateway is the first address. So first address is 192.168.10.1. Okay, this is the first address of 192.168.10. So what I need to do, I need to paste this default gateway address to all the computers in this first building, or all the end devices. Okay, so now these end devices having the same default gateway address. Okay, and that default gateway is nothing but the address of this port of the router, and this port of the router is basically fast Ethernet 0/0. So you need to go to fast Ethernet 0/0, and here you need to give that uh, IP address 192.168.10.1. Okay, and default subnet, and you need to give this port status as on. Now you can see all the things are in the green ready to go condition. Okay, so now you can do actually ping from PC1 to this router. If you do, you can ping that one. Okay, so you can ping your router. The same thing we will do with this building number 2 also. Okay, so if I do the same thing, like if I go to this PC, and if I type 192.168.11.1. Okay, and if this is this in this case, I am taking like first address of this network as a default gateway of that network. Okay, so if I go to all my PCs, and if I type this default gateway, and if I go to this router, first I need to check where I have connected. Okay, this is also fast Ethernet 0/0. So at 0/0, again I will give that IP address, and uh, a port status. If I on, okay, it will take some time, and all the networks will be in the active mode. So here I have given 192.168.11.1 as my gateway. Okay. So after defining these gateway, actually I can check that I can ping this any of this PC to router. Okay, and I can ping any of these PCs to this router. Okay. Now what I want, I want to communicate between these two network 192.168.10 and 192.168.11. Okay, so again I will take one connection, that is crossover, because these two devices are same. Okay, layer 3 devices. So it's my choice. Like for first case, I am connecting fast Ethernet cable from 1/1 port to 1/1 port. Okay. After connection of this cable, I need to define IP addresses for this port also. Okay. So here, if these two buildings are known to me, okay, I can use private also. If these two buildings are apart, okay, in practical case, these two buildings are apart, and somewhere in between, ISP or some other router is there. Okay, so basically, I will go to this port number fast Ethernet 1/1 port, and I will write one public IP address. Okay, so let's say for class C, I'm writing one public IP address and 192.167 dot dot 0 dot 2 something. Okay, this 192.167 is a public IP address. So let's say write some number which is like good to view. Okay, 192.167 dot 10.2 is a public IP address. So I'm defining router number 0, first Ethernet port number 1/1 as a 192.168.167.10.2. Okay, and port status on. So this one I have defined as 192.167.10.2, and here I will define some other number in the same network. Okay, so in the same network means 192.167.10 is a net, dot 0 is a network. So here if I have defined for building 1 as 2, so either I define 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. Okay, so let's say I am defining 3. Again, I will go to route this router first Ethernet 1/1, and this I will do 3 and switch on this one. Okay, so now what I did is I have defined one connection between those two routers. Okay, and after this go to static routing, and I will define that this 192.168.10.2, this where I have connected this link. Okay, so at least I need to know that where whatever router's port I'm connecting uh, is for which destination. Okay, the first adjacent destination you need to define. It is compulsory. I am in building number 1, so I need to define building number 1. Okay, for this 192.168.10.3 where I am connecting that one. Okay, so suppose I am connecting 192.168, sorry, 167 dot 10.3 with a 255.255.255.0 mask to a network of 192.168.11.0. Okay, so this one I am connecting. Okay, and the similar thing I will go to this router, and again I will define that 192.168.167.10.2 I'm connecting to with 255.255.255.0 subnet mask to 192.168.10.0. Okay, so after defining all this thing, like all this thing means I need to define like whatever port I am having, whatever connections I am having, from where I am getting that connection. Okay, so this building number 1 need to have the information that this building number 1 having one wire, and that wire is coming from building number 2. If that wire is coming from BSNL, then it need to define that wire is coming from BSNL. Okay, and BSNL is using this network. Okay, if that wire is coming from Zio, this building number 1 need to be defined that wire is coming from Zio, and Zio is having using this network. Okay, so at present I'm connecting that wire from the building number 2, so I need to define to my router number 0 of building number 1 that I'm connecting one wire to you, and that wire is coming from building number 2 having the network address of 192.168.11.1, sorry, dot 11.0. Okay, so after giving all these informations to your router, now you can communicate between two networks. Two networks means two 192.168.10 network and 192.168.11 network. Okay, so now if I ping or if I send packet from PC1 to PC6, it is successful. Okay, and if I ping also like PC6 192.168.11.7. So if I go to command prompt and if I ping 192.168.11.7, okay, I can see that my link is reliable, 100% loss is there. I have sent 4 packet and I have received 4 packet. Okay, so this is the case number 1. So case 2 is basically connection of these two buildings through single routers. If I am connecting these two buildings with a single router, means these two buildings are very close to each other. Okay, like your hostels, like your second year and third year hostel. So we can use a single router also. So if I am using a single router, okay, so if um, that is the case, so basically I'm deleting this one, and now this one is the common router. Okay. So if this one is the common router, so basically I need to connect one wire from this port to its any port, any of this router port. Okay. So now see, I have connected this two building having the different network with a single router. Okay. Now for this building, I am taking default gateway as 192.168.10.1. And for this building, I am taking default gateway of 192.168.11.1. Okay, this port is connected to fast Ethernet 0/0, and this one is connected to fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, so I'm going to fast Ethernet 0/1 and fast Ethernet 0/1. I need to define this gateway as the IP address of this port. Okay, so I'm defining 192.168.11.1. Okay, and make it on. Now I don't want this one because everything I haven't connected two routers. Okay, so means whatever ports are there, they are like indicating two different LAN. Okay. So now for the port number 0, I have connected this one, and with the port number 1, I have connected this one, and both port status of both the things are on state. Okay. So now you can check that you can actually communicate between PC1 and router, and you can communicate between router and PC6. Router and PC6. Okay. So if you can communicate between PC1 and router and PC6, you can communicate between PC1 and PC6. Okay, and PC1 and PC6, they are in different LAN. So whatever I'm doing, like it's not necessary that you give default gateway as 192.168.10.1. Okay. If you want, you can give 192.168.10.55 also. Okay. But for this PCs also you need to give .55 as a default gateway. Okay. So for ease of convenience or for remembering those things in a easy manner, I'm connecting those things and defining default gateway as one as my first address. Okay. So this is the case of when two buildings are connected with a common router. Let's go to case number 3, where two buildings having a common router and two buildings are using subnetting. Okay. Subnetting, I taught you in previous lecture, like basically we are dealing with one network ID, and that one network ID or network we are dividing into many clusters, and that clusters are itself behaving like a different network. Okay, so let's take like this one is 192 dot I'm dividing 192.168.10 into two clusters now. Okay, so let's say this is /25 notation. /25 means divided into two parts. Okay. By default, 255, 255, 255, if I write, it is /24 notation. Okay. So this network is 192.168. Network ID is 192.168.10.0, and here if I write 192.168.10.127 slash 25. Okay, so this is my second network. Okay, so now you can check that in class C, like 192.168.10, basically they both are in same network, but uh, if I apply subnetting, Means if I alter subnet mask, default subnet mask, basically I'm applying subnetting, and in this case I have clustered into two parts. Okay, so on the basis of this, I need to give here 128, and let's say this one, the first IP address of this cluster is 192.168.10.1. So I'm leaving it as it is, just I'm changing the subnet mask. Okay, so I'm going to second PC, I'm changing subnet mask. I'm going to third PC, applying subnet mask. Okay, so this one is the first IP address of this cluster. Let's go to this building number 2 and go to IP, and now the second part is basically 192.168.10. Uh, network ID is not 127, it's broadcast ID 128. Okay, 128. So 128 is the network ID for second case. So if I am writing 128, then let's come to gateway. This gateway will become first ID. If I take first ID of this network, this subnet, then it's 192.168.10.129. Okay, so this is the gateway. 128 at the end is the subnet mask, and 192.168.10.129 or any random number dot 40, 140. 140 is IP address of this one. So I will copy this 140, go here and change this one. Let's say 141. This is 128. Go to this PC number 6. This is 142. This is 128. Okay, I need to give default gateway also, which is 192.168.10.129. Okay, so default gateways should be common, and here also I will change default gateway as 192.168.10.129. Okay, so now I am using only one network in the two building, which is 192.168.10, and that 10 network I am dividing into two parts, and those two parts are basically behaving as a different network, and those networks I want that they can communicate with each other. Okay, previously if I use switch only, then I have seen that they can't be able to communicate with each other. Okay, so there will be privacy. 192.168.10.0/25 network will communicate itself with each other, and 192.168.10.128/25 itself can communicate with each other. Okay, so now I need to go to this router. Okay, and this is port 0/0. So in place of this, I need to give 128. Okay, so everything will be okay. And here I need to give 192.168.10.129. 10.129, and this is 255.255.128. Okay, then I will close this one. Now I can check that I can communicate between these PCs. Okay, I can communicate between these PCs also, and I can communicate between this PC and router. I can communicate between this router and this PC. Okay, and I can communicate between these two also. Okay, so all the communication is possible here. All type of communication is possible here. So this is our case number 3, where I am connecting one single router for the two building, and in parallelly I am using subnetting also. Okay. Now take one more case, which is case number 4, where two buildings having one common switch also. Okay. In parallel to common router, they are having one parallel switch also, and under that switch, two different VLANs we need to make. Okay. So, like again, let's discuss. Okay, let's discuss this thing. Okay. So here we need to use different network and VLAN. Okay. So I'm deleting one switch. I'm deleting one switch. I'm taking this switch common for the two buildings. Okay. So now this switch is also common for the two building number 1 and building number 2. And now I want to give like a different IP address. So again, I will go to these computers. So this is 192.168.10. I'm not using subnetting now. This is the first IP address, and this is one of the IP address from this network. So to remove subnetting, I'm removing 128 from the last part. So I've removed subnetting. Okay, and this is 192.168.10 network, and this network I am again giving 192.168.11 network. Okay, so again I will go to each PC of this network and give it 11 dot something 5 again. Then this is 0, and this is 11.1. So again I'm going to one more PC, and this is 11.5.56, 0 here, and this gateway. Third PC, which is 11 dot something 9, this is 0, and this is 192.168.11.1. Okay, so now my default gateway is 192.168.11.1 for these cases, and for these cases my default gateway is 192.68.10.1. Okay, so now what I need to do, first I need to create two virtual LANs. Okay, I need to create two virtual LANs. So basically without command window I am creating that virtual LAN. So this port is fast Ethernet 1, this is 2, and this one is 3, this is 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 need to be in one LAN. Okay, so I am creating one LAN number 2, VLAN number 2, with the name VLAN P or building 1. Okay, so I'm creating one VLAN with the building 1 and another VLAN with the building 2. Okay, so I have created VLAN number 2 and VLAN number 3. Now building 1 is port number 123. So port number 1, I will go to command window again, and I will type switch port access VLAN, and this one is VLAN number 2 for building number 1. Okay, So I can check here that VLAN number is now changed. Again, I will go to this and write same thing, switch port access VLAN 2. So now VLAN of this is also changed to 2. Now I will go to 3 and switch port access VLAN 2. So now port 1, port 2, port 3, they are in VLAN 2. And now I need to give port 5, port 6 and port 7 to VLAN number 3. Okay, so I will start with port 5 and switch port access VLAN 3 and port 6 switch port access VLAN 3 switch port access VLAN 3. So after this, I can check that I am having VLAN number 2 and VLAN number 3. VLAN number 2 having connection with the port number 1, 2 and 3 of this switch, and VLAN number 3 having connection with 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so now like this is VLAN number, this is actually VLAN 2, and this is actually VLAN 3. Okay, so after this, like you can check, we can be able to communicate between PCs of same VLAN. Okay, we can be able to communicate between PCs of same VLAN. So whatever permutation combination, all the things are successful, but we can't be able to communicate between PCs of different VLAN. Okay, so we can't be able to communicate between PCs of different VLAN. So now what we want is like we can be able to communicate between this VLAN and that VLAN number 3. Okay, so basically two buildings are there having single switch. Single switch means for the two buildings, for using two different network in the two buildings, we need to create VLAN, and we have created VLAN number 2 and VLAN number 3 in those two buildings. And now we want to communicate that these two buildings can communicate with each other. Okay, so for communication of two different network, we need to have one router. Okay, so I am taking this router, and first I am connecting like one wire from this switch to this router so that these PCs can communicate to this router. Okay, so first I'm connecting, let's say I'm connecting at from port number 4 to fast Ethernet 0/0. Okay, now I need to go to this 0/0 fast Ethernet 0/0, and I need to give my default gateway 192.168.10. Okay, and this is 0 and this one is on. Okay, so I have defined 192.168.10.1 as a default gateway of all the PCs of building 1. Okay, and subnet mask, default subnet mask 255, 258, 255, because I am not using any subnet now. Okay. And then if I communicate, I need to do one more thing. If I communicate now, it is failed. Okay, again if I communicate, it is failed. Okay, so I need to do one thing more, that I have connected this port number 4 to this point, and I want that VLAN number 2 can communicate with router. So I need to define this port number 4 also in the VLAN number 2. Okay, so I will go to command line and I will write switch port access VLAN 2. Okay, so now my port number 4 is also in VLAN number 2. Okay. And now if I communicate within PC1 and router, that will be successful. Okay, so now I can communicate between these PCs and router, but I can't be able to communicate between these PCs and router. Okay, if I check, that will be in failure mode. Okay, so for communication of these PCs of building number 2 to router, again I need to connect one more wire. So suppose I'm connecting from first Ethernet port number 8 to 0/1. Okay, so I need to go to 0/1 now, and default gateway is 192.168.11.1, and this is 0, 255.255.255.0. This one is on. Okay. So now, like I have defined that default gateway of all these are at this port. Okay, but since I have connected this wire at port number first Ethernet 0/8 of this switch, so this switch I need to, this port I need to define in VLAN number 3. So port number 8, which is by default in VLAN number 8, I need to define in port number VLAN number 3. So now this port is there in VLAN number 3. Now I can be able to communicate between this PC and router. Okay. So if you can be communicate this PC and router, and if you can communicate router and this PC, means you can communicate from this PC to this PC. Okay. So this is the way whenever you are using switch and router, and if you want that you can communicate between two LANs also. Okay. So one more case is there. This case is basically when you are using subnetting. Okay, so you are using VLAN also, virtual LAN also, and subnetting, and you are using one common router and one common switch. So little modification in that one. So basically we will merge these two things. So for merging it together, basically this is this switch. Okay, so for merging it together, I am deleting this switch, and I am taking this switch copy, I am pasting here. Okay, and since already VLANs are created here in this switch because I have copied. Okay, so I can connect, like this is connected to port number 1, this is connected to port number 2, this is connected to port number 3, four is connected to router, so 4 is connected to the router, 5 is connected to this PC, 6 is to this PC, 7 is connected to this PC, and one more connection which is 8. 8 is connected to this router, that's 0. Okay, so basically this switch, if you analyze this switch, so this switch for port number 1, 2, 3, 4 are there with VLAN number 2. So PC1 is connected to port number 1, PC2 is connected to port number 2, PC3 is connected to port number 4, and port number 5 is connected to router first Ethernet 00. and you can analyze that VLAN number 3 having port defined as port number 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6, 7 are connected to PC number 4, 5, 6, and 8 is connected to router. Okay, so I need to go to this router, fast Ethernet 0/0, and here again this is the default gateway, everything is correct. Now I'm going to this fast Ethernet 0/1, 192.168.10.129, 192 to 168.10.129, 128. Okay, everything is correct, but I need to change in PCs. Okay, so I need to define default gateway as, okay, default gateway is also correct. Okay, so now I can communicate between this PC number 1 and router, and now I can communicate between router and PC number 6. Okay, so if I can communicate between PC 1 and router and PC number 6, I can communicate between PC number 1 and PC number 6. Okay, so this is the last case that two buildings, building number 1 and building number 2, are having the common router and common switch, and they are using virtual LAN system for connection of two different networks with a single switch. They are also using subnetting for saving IP addresses. Okay, and they can be able to communicate with each other. Okay, so this is the end of today's lab. Basically, we have seen all the important cases, those 5 cases.